Ready?
Yes.
Are you though?
Okay. No, really, I am. Okay.
Okay. Hi, I'm Grady.
And I'm Zach.
And I'm Charisse.
And welcome to Highlights, a show where we can't control ourselves. No. A show where we recap a reality show, usually a drag one, like it's sports, even though it's not. And today we're very excited. We're going to do a little bonus for you all. So normally we don't cover international seasons of Drag Race, but UK versus the world was just too good not to at least chat about. So obviously the spoilers are all out there. We're not going to make predictions. We're not going to break it down in the usual way and all of that stuff, but we wanted to have just a general chat about how we got to the blue hydrangea of it all. And even though it was only 6 episodes, which is a very brief and sweet ride compared to the 16 episodes that current regular Drag Race is doing, I had a great time with it. So let's chat about that. So real quick, let's break down and refresh everybody's memory. So who was a part of this wonderful brief ride we got? First, we have Pangina Heels. Pangina Heels is from Drag Race Thailand. She's a judge on the seasons of Drag Race Thailand. She's like a reverse Brooklyn Heights, as she describes herself. This is the first time she's appeared as a contestant on Drag Race. Her drag name comes from her birth name, Pan Pan, and Drag Race Season 1 contestant Angina. And she also relates her name to Peter Pan and the continent of Pangea because she really likes the idea of unity. Whatever. She studied fine arts at UCLA, which is a big part of why she's fluent in English as well, and she's effortless in English, honestly. Like, I listening to her talk, sometimes I think she's American. It's crazy. She is the second queen to send home both Lemon and Jimbo. Rita Baga did this on Drag Race after beating them in their respective lip syncs, and sent them home in the same order. Just a fun piece of trivia. So Lemon and Jimbo always go home. Lemon and then Jimbo. And then we have Jujubee, who's no stranger to Drag Race.
Who's
Jujubee? Jujubee is from the second season of Drag Race, where she placed 3rd place. She's also from All Stars 1, where she placed 3rd, 4th place adjacent. And she's also from All Stars 5, where she placed 2nd, 3rd place adjacent. She was also a mentor on RuPaul's Drag U, and she was a contestant on Queen of the Universe, which is produced by WoW Presents, the same producers of RuPaul's Drag Race. She is the first contestant to win 3 reading challenges, winning them on every single season she's appeared on so far. I have a feeling she'll be back. And
She is a jujubee. She gets stuck in your teeth, so she keeps returning and returning and returning.
Stuck on there. Can't get her out. She now holds the record for appearing on more seasons of Drag Race than any other contestant. She's like the main character of the show. It's weird. Then we have Jimbo. Jimbo is from Canada's Drag Race, where she placed 4th place. She was a fan favorite on that show. She describes herself as a drag clown, and she currently has the highest fashion photo review track record of any Drag Race contestant in history. Very rarely ever being, I guess, ever displeasing fashion photo review on her season. And on Drag Race UK versus the world, on every episode she appeared on, she won top 2 of the week. Then we have Cheryl Hole. Cheryl Hole is from Drag Race UK 1, the very first season, where she placed 4th place. Her drag name is a play on singer Cheryl Cole. She can also be seen long before Drag Race UK even existed, during the Drag Race Season 8 finale between Layla McQueen and Cynthia Lee Fontaine's runway entrances, and she can be seen in the audience appearing out of drag. And fun fact, she is friends with singer Adele, who she met after Adele appeared on the Graham Norton show, and she went to a gay bar after and happened to meet Cheryl, and the two became friends.
Oh, awesome. Can you imagine just saying that? Like, oh, Adele's my friend.
Yeah. No big deal. Then we have Blue Hydrangea. Blue is from Drag Race UK 1 as well, where she placed in 5th place. She is Miss Congeniality of Drag Race UK Season 1, though unofficially chosen. So they didn't do a Miss Congeniality. However, Bob the Drag Queen launched an online campaign feeling that they needed one and held a fan vote. And Blue Hydrangea won the vote. And it was so popular that they officially recognized her as the Miss Congeniality of the season. Interesting. And a very similar thing happened with Canada's Drag Race as well. She is a member of the Frock Destroyers, which is a real singing group that formed after they performed as a girl group in the Girl Group Challenge on the first season of Drag Race UK. She can also be seen in the audience of the semifinals of Queen of the Universe, as some people have pointed out. And her promo look was created by Crimson, who was the winner of the first season of Raven's show, Painted with Raven. Then we have Bag of Chips. I love this photo of her. She's like, where am I? Bag of Chips is also from Drag Race UK Season 1. She placed 3rd place there. Also a member of the Frock Destroyers. She was also a contestant on Celebrity MasterChef UK. She did not do well from what I read. She is the first queen to enter the workroom on Drag Race UK and the first queen ever to enter first on 2 different seasons. Fun Drag Race trivia. Then we have Mo Hart, formerly Monique Hart. Mo Hart is from Drag Race 10, where she placed in 8th place. She was also on All Stars 4, where she placed 3rd, 4th place adjacent. And she performed a lip sync with Season 1 contestant Jade for the Season 1, Season 10 group performance at the Drag Race 10 finale, which was very interesting. She was formerly Monique Hart, changing her name to Mo Hart, feeling that she wanted a more gender-neutral name to represent her new drag aesthetic. Then we had Janie Jacquet. She's from Drag Race Holland Season 1. She placed in 2nd place. And she is in the same drag family as 9 other drag contestants from that same show, including Megan Schoenbrod. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't remember her, to be honest with you. Juicy Couture, Reggie B, Tabitha, Ivy Elise, Vanessa Van Cartier, Patty Pam Pam, Envy Peru, and Miss Abby. Oh my God. 2 of them being winners of that show and several others being finalists, which is crazy. And then we had Lemon. Lemon is also from Canada's Drag Race Season 1, where she placed in 5th place. She had only been doing drag for a year prior to appearing on that show, and she was a former backup dancer actually for fellow contestant Tynomi Banks. Tynomi Banks on that show. She's actually a very popular drag queen in Canada. She already had a very large following. She's kind of like Bianca Del Rio in that way. And Lemon used to perform for her. Kind of crazy, though she went farther than Tynomi. And this is our lineup. So how did we get to where we got? Things went nuts. So of course they did all-star rules. So they eliminated each other, which is fun, but sometimes I think it definitely robs some very talented people of certain things. And this was crazy. But I actually enjoyed how much they really played this game. So let's break down the scoreboard real quick. So episode 1, Pangina Heels was in first place because she won that lip sync because Jimbo threw it. And they each had won that challenge. So Pangina Heels was first, Jimbo was second. Blue Hydrangea, 3rd, 4th place. Bag of Chips, 3rd, 4th place tied. Mo Hart, Jujubee, and Cheryl Hole tied for 5th, 6th, and 7th, just based on the math. Janie Jacquet was in 8th, and Lemon got eliminated immediately, coming in 9th, which was crazy. Episode 2, Jimbo took that 1st place. Pangina Heels was in 2nd place. Janie Jacquet, 3rd, 4th place. Blue and Mo and Baga, 4th, 5th, 6th place adjacent. Jujubee, 7th place. Jujubee did not do well this show. Cheryl Hole was then eliminated, kind of as expected, coming in 8th place. Episode 3, Pangina took all the power. coming in first place. Janie Jacquet came in second place. Blue Hydrangea and Bag of Chips, third and fourth place. Mo Hart, fifth place. Jujubee, sixth place. Jimbo, front runner, then coming in seventh place after being eliminated by Pangina.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that was nuts. Episode 4 got even crazier. Blue Hydrangea somehow made it all the way to the top of this ladder. And so did Bag of Chips. And then Janie Jacquet was bumped down to third. Mo came in fourth. Jujubee fifth. Pangina Heels eliminated. The only other front runner eliminated by Blue Hydrangea, coming in sixth place. It was like they got eliminated in reverse order. It was so weird. Oh my God. Semifinals. Blue and Baga still in those top spots. Mo jumped up to third. Jujubee still clinging into last place. Coming in fourth place. The only semi-front runner left, Janie Jacquet, eliminated. Coming in fifth place. That was so crazy. And she got eliminated by Jujubee, of all people. And then the finale. Blue Hydrangea coming in first place. Obviously, she won. Mo Hart runner up as they battled in that final lip sync. Jujubee, Bag of Chips, getting knocked out in the first round of the lip sync for the crown, coming in third, fourth place adjacent. What a wild ride this was. And this was the elimination order.
Wild indeed.
Yeah. That being said, congrats to Blue Hydrangea. She won fair and square, based on the rules of the game. And she's not a bad performer. I actually like Blue Hydrangea quite a bit. I just didn't anticipate her to win this particular season. But good for her. And her grand prize, since they don't give out money in the UK because of tax reasons, they don't get any prize money at all during the show, including winning the entire thing. So she got a song with RuPaul, which ended up being a medley of RuPaul's previous songs, just mashed together with a couple new lines that Blue recorded.
What a prize.
Yeah. It did not sound great, I will say that.
That's unique.
Yeah. So I partially actually kind of feel bad for Blue, because wow, this is what she got for all that. But, she won fair and square. And her snatch game especially, and all of those other things, phenomenal. So good for Blue. So before we get into our general discussion, let's take a gander at some of these runways. So they had these entrance looks, first of all, which I thought were great, especially Jimbo and Mo, like my two standouts, to be honest. Jujubee's re-wearing her Entertainment Weekly look for All Stars 5, which is fine. Nobody got to really appreciate that look. They didn't do an official promo for All Stars 5 because of the pandemic. Whatever. It's fine. It's very Jujubee. I will say that.
It just looks so small next to everyone else there.
I was just going to say, compared to everybody else, she looks like she should be like the person behind the camera that's like directing things, or like not on screen.
Or like the guest judge that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like she's doing a behind the scenes interview with them.
Yes, she's the interviewer. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, tell me what it's been like filming Drag Race. Then we had the I'm a Winner runway, which loved Jimbo. I felt like Jimbo destroyed this runway compared to everybody else. Jujubee's almost lost in this photo. It's like, what's happening? Then we had the ball challenge, which Jujubee was obviously a star of. At the Kitty Girl runway, Butch Queen runway, and then You Wear It Well runway, where they had to make something for Ru.
So my whole problem with Juju over this entire season was that she's like, oh, I'm going to be on RuPaul again. If I don't have a story arc, they won't keep me. I need to do my makeup good in the first season, in the first episode, and then do it kind of trashy for a little bit and be kind of basic, and then step it up a little bit at the end. But it's still not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it read as like bad and subpar the whole season.
Yeah. It's just, and you know what's crazy is they filmed this before Queen of the Universe, but the release of them was flopped. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
even though Queen of the Universe released first, she actually filmed Drag Race first. Like this was her time to shine. But
I feel like
She was like, "Why might as well do this one too?"
I feel like if they were going to bring somebody back, though, they should have brought Manila Luzon. Like, she brings it to the runway. Juju never brought it to the runway. Like, why?
yeah. Oh, poor Juju. And they had the ... runway, and I actually really loved this runway almost across the board. I thought all the looks were really fun. Even Jujubee's is a little fun if you're far away. Like when she's so tiny in this photo, I'm like, oh, it looks kind of cool, but then you get up to it and it's like, oh. But I loved Jimbo's so much. I loved Pangina's so much here. Oh.
That guy looks like a Barbie doll.
Mm-hmm.
Pangina is just amazing. She's just amazing.
Yeah.
I love her so much. She is born to change the face of drag.
Yeah, she was great on this show. They had Luck Be a Lady runway, which again, Pangina came as a slot machine. I don't know how. I don't know what else you can give people. Jujubee attempted to be one of those cats with the rotating arms.
That was a stretch.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being Pangina and trying to get that slot machine through customs? Like, let me explain what this is for.
I know. I was like, how did she... Where did she get it? What suitcase was it in? Weird stuff. And then they had the Work of Art runway, which was really gorgeous. Even Jujubee's was really gorgeous. I don't know that it fit the prompt, but it was really gorgeous. That's Mo Hart with the flower head, in case you're wondering. And our top 4 for the finale look.
Gaga looks so cool. Her whole headpiece was amazing.
Yeah. I liked the Elizabeth Taylor reference that she was doing with it, which is cool. That being said, I did think she kind of looked like a sea urchin.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, rolling around collecting shells. But I really liked blue hydrangeas. It was a little bulky, but I really liked blues. Mo Hearts I liked. It got more praise across the board than I thought it maybe deserved. I think I didn't love it, but I thought it was really nice. Jujubee, pretty, not for a grand finale.
Yeah, it was basic.
I just hope she wins at some point, just so they can just leave her alone. But like, anyways, and they had
something.
Even the lip sync looks, really nice looks. Jujubee looks like she works at Ulta. Like, I don't. She's like, "Are you finding everything okay?" Like, it's so weird.
She looks like when they did that old, I think it was season 1, where they did that challenge where they had to like promote a book or something on a talk show, or like what their life memoir would be. And I feel like this is what a lot of queens would have worn for that kind of challenge.
Yeah.
It just, her vein of fashion is very
Basic.
Singular. Yeah.
Yes.
Basic.
She looks like she could do one of the newsroom challenges too. Like, it looks like she's going to give like the morning tea on, whatever it is. Like I said, I don't know how she ended up there and not Manila Luzon, but I do know how she ended up there because Manila Luzon started another show.
These,
so
yeah, I just like, were other people busy?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I love Jujubee. I'm all for them bringing her back every year, to be honest with you.
Just stepping out of a closet. It's me again.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just wish she would evolve as they do it, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
I never said I wouldn't pay to go see her show because I would.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need change, growth.
Yeah. The final lip sync looks. I really loved Blue's actual lip sync look for this. This was pretty cool. I like Mo's too, but the wig I think loses it for me a little bit here. But Blue I thought looked great this entire performance.
She totally embodied the Kylie Minogue song too. It was like so good.
Absolutely. So that's the general kind of gist of what Drag Race UK versus the world was. So let's just dive into this general discussion. Let's chat for a few minutes. Let's talk about it. Biggest takeaways. Go.
Some shit went down.
Yeah.
Like this was
really though
so controversial and was all over the place, and the fandom was like so riled up over.
Oh, it was.
First Pangina sending Jimbo home, and then Blue sending Pangina home for really the same reasons that Pangina sent Jimbo home. But Pangina was very upset about it. It was it was all over the place. Made for great TV though.
Yeah. Interesting too from a production standpoint, because several like behind the scenes things, have come out as they tend to do about how things went down when filming and what made it to the final cut as opposed to what actually happened. Case in point, so just like the Runways, the talent show also gets 2 takes. So they do their talent show twice for the judges. So Lemon claimed, and the other contestants confirmed, that while yes, one of her run-throughs was a little rushed, didn't go so well, especially that split she did when she jumped off the box, which as it is, isn't super original. But she did do a take where it went actually quite perfect. And they chose not to show that one. Interesting. Also, Jimbo's elimination, not so graceful. Jimbo was very upset. Jimbo described it herself in the post interviews as saying that she came off very unhinged, was very psychotic, was screaming so Pangina could hear her 2 studios down, was very upset, like full meltdown, was so angry. They aired none of it. But the very next episode, they decide to include the extra 5 minutes of wailing as Pangina was eliminated.
Okay. So as I was watching this season up until this point, I felt like Bag of Chips and Jimbo felt like they didn't need to try very hard. I felt like they just needed to Georgia it out, and that everybody was going to vote them to win because that's how it was supposed to be. They were supposed to be in their brain. They were supposed to be the main character of this season, and everyone else was just supposed to fall in line. I feel like they did not give it their all in the challenges. I feel like Jimbo was definitely doing a half-assed job, and I was insulted as an audience member because I love Jimbo, but this color looked very Hosoteratoma on her.
So there's other actual tidbits too. So they also mentioned that some other things didn't air, like so when Jimbo lost her second lip sync and she was like fake throwing a fit for Rue, like, oh, I wanted to win, like very joke. It was funny, but there was more to that bit. Like it went on for a while. She threw herself down to the stage, like threw herself backward, hit the ground really hard. So when she hurts her neck the next day, it's a real injury we actually didn't see, which was weird, but she also didn't need to do it.
So again, another reason why Jimbo insulted me as an audience member, she never bothered to change for any of those lip syncs. You just won, girl. Yeah. And again, like everybody pointed out, she was going to do the first lip sync in those gigantic heels and not know what to do with herself and not be able to see.
I agree. And
then the second one, she definitely hokey pokeyed it out again. And it just, as an audience member, I can tell when people aren't trying their hardest. And Bag of Chips made it all the way to the end with a half-ass attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Baga did seem very unwilling to give it her all for a lot of the challenges that she was in. And it was really frustrating to watch as an audience member.
They also said that there was a lot of backstage stuff. Like, so when they were deliberating and stuff backstage, that production was forcing. So, for example, Jimbo and Lemon had a Canadian alliance. So Jimbo had already decided there was no way when Jimbo won the first challenge that she was going to send Lemon home, period. Right? So, and she says that backstage, and then production tells her, no, make it a little more obscure. So then there's like that bit where she's like talking to her drink and she's like talking to her straw and she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she does all this stuff. Production makes her do that, which is so weird. And
that is weird because while watching it, I was just like, is she drunk the whole time? Like,
yeah. And that's why. It's because they're making her redo the take over and over and over. And she knows it's forced. So she kind of camps it up because it's forced, because it's Jimbo. So it's like this meta thing she's doing. But I definitely also think that the lack of prize money is a big factor for a lot of these contestants, especially during the lip syncs, because all you really get out of the lip sync is sending someone home and then having to deal with the group after. So I definitely think a lot of these contestants, especially Jimbo, purposefully throw these lip syncs because there's no stakes for them. Why bother doing them?
You can tell.
Yeah. And if I were Jimbo, I can't say that I wouldn't also maybe do the same thing, you know, preserve some relationships. There's nothing in it for me anyway. I've already won the challenge.
You're already on top. So like, why go the extra mile just
Right.
to send somebody home? That makes no sense.
Right. And it leads to a lot of questions as to why choose UK as the location for this when you could go somewhere else and give out prize money and make it a little more worth everyone's while and make everyone's motivations better. I can't say that I would want to compete on UK versus the world. You know?
And it was an unfortunate location to choose for the first one.
Yes. A lot of people are comparing it like it's so bad. It's so badly reviewed as a season, even though like I think it was good TV, like because of the drama and the way they decided to play the game, which was juicy. But it's getting compared to like All Stars 1 and how bad it is. So I definitely think Blue Hydrangea is going to be the Chad Michaels of the UK versus the world, where yes, you're the first winner of this incarnation. But
it's the worst one.
Yeah, it's like the rough draft of what it'll eventually become. And that makes me kind of sad for Blue. But, you know,
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But I am glad to see some intermingling of some of the, you know, international incarnations of Drag Race and things like that. And especially because there's so many of them. Even when they filmed this, there were only a few. And by the time it aired, there were over twice as many incarnations of Drag Race out in the world. It's interesting to see them come together, and it's cool for the general audience to kind of get to know some of these other queens. And that was really nice. That being said, it is weird to me that by the end of it, all we had was American and UK queens.
Yeah.
They wiped out the international ones. Very
For sure. And that part was sad. And I'm also sad that Pangina Heels and Jimbo were wasted as contestants on this rough draft version, because they are both amazing competitors. Bag of Chips really didn't impress me this season, and I was very impressed with her the first season.
I agree. This should have been Pangina's thing. You know?
It really should have been. Or at least a showdown between her and Jimbo.
For sure. And as a judge, she expects so much from the contestants. So much. And she expects exactly that much, if not more, from herself. And I appreciate that so much. The details of both her and Jimbo's drag, it's breathtaking.
Yeah, I will say. So Jimbo, I don't always love Jimbo's behavior, Jimbo's bits as a character. You know, Jimbo lacks a lot of vulnerability because Jimbo's always Jimbo. And that bothers me sometimes. Like sometimes I wish she would just kind of take the mask off for a little bit. But I love that even though there's no prize money, no stakes, no nothing, Pangina and Jimbo threw everything they had into this show, which makes it so sad that people like Jujubee, who just took whatever she had and was like, compared to All Stars 5, where I feel like she actually kind of tried and almost deserved to win, to be honest. I thought she did pretty well overall on All Stars 5. It was kind of sad to see some lackluster stuff go all the way compared to Jimbo and Pangina. Very, very sad.
For sure. And I feel like Mo Hart was always talking about how much fabric she used to make whatever garment or however much fabric was used. It's not about how much fabric you use. It's how you wear the garment. And sometimes that garment wore her. And I don't know. I'm not saying that what she wore beautiful things, yes, but sometimes it just wasn't enough. And I was very disappointed with the top 4. I wanted more, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of Mo's outfits wore her. Where I didn't really get Mo Hart. I just got like, oh, that's a really stunning gown, or that's a really stunning outfit.
Yeah.
Some of which she just, and I get that this is a thing now, and I mentioned this in highlights for season 14. A lot of queens have stuff made for them now, so I see less and less of their creativity. Oh, like that wonderful Vegas showgirl thing that lit up. Like she had someone make that for her, and it's cool, but I don't know. It just takes some of the magic out of it when it's like it's not something you came up with. It's just, I don't know. That part just kind of bugs.
I agree. And a lot of people are saying Mo was robbed this season. I don't think she was.
No,
personally.
yeah.
I don't think how she performed in the challenges really backs that up. And I will say, even in the finale, I felt like Blue performed better than she did. That's just me. I don't know. But
I will say Blue got some justice because she brought up that Mo was quite awful to her.
Yes.
When she was quote unquote a nobody, but now that she's a competitor, it's a completely different story. And then she got the win at the end. I thought that was awesome.
Which is another thing because Monique Hart, I think, or Mo Hart, has this way of being where she treats people like that. It's like she doesn't care about anybody else in the franchise other than maybe the American versions, and even then probably mainly the seasons she was on. Everybody else she could care less about. And 2, she came into this saying this is the last time she's doing Drag Race, like she's gonna win this or it's nothing. And she just has this way of being where she just feels almost entitled. Like it comes off very, I don't know, there's just something about it I don't like on her.
Yeah.
So.
It's almost like that same attitude that we noticed from Jimbo and Baga, but it was very much prevalent in Mo as well. That this should just be handed to me because I'm Mo Hart.
Absolutely, I got that feeling too.
And there's something endearing about Blue where I can tell Blue really wants it, really tries for it, really tries to evolve for it, which I appreciate. And that's why out of the people who are left, I thought Blue was a very strong contender for that. And I was happy she got it out of the people that were left. Overall, I really wish Pangina had won. I hope to see Pangina again somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know she has her own franchise, but I would still like to see her compete again. I think she deserves that.
Part of what I really appreciate about this, and then other renditions of Drag Race too, though not many of them I've seen, but what I like about them is that you get a idea of how privileged we are here in the States with drag as artistry, and how much further other places in the world have to go to get to where we are. And that might be why there is a bit less of that entitlement and like, you know, I guess laziness, when you consider that they're really fighting for social change and justice in their country still to get to where we are, where it's such a acceptable in everyone's living room kind of deal.
Overall, I really like the idea of versus the world and doing an international all-stars. I think everybody was very excited for that. I think people still are, especially with all the new ones. There's Drag Race Spain, Drag Race France is about to premiere. You know, there's Down Under, there's all kinds of, it's all over the world right now. And Drag Race Italy is coming. So I definitely want to see more of this stuff. And they're already gearing up for Canada versus the world, which I expect to already be better.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on UK versus the world before we wrap up?
It was a good show to watch. It was fun.
I loved it. I loved the concept. It was a fun ride, even with all the bumps. I'm glad I got to enjoy it, and I'm glad it was a normal length.
And the Snatch Game. The Snatch Game was amazing.
I loved Snatch Game.
For sure. I am totally here for another international all-stars. Like, absolutely, absolutely. It was a good starter episode. Yes, there were some bumps, or a good starter season. There were some bumps. You work out the, you know, the kinks in the road. It'll be better next time.
Yeah.
When Jujubee comes back.
I was just saying, I can't wait to see her on Canada versus the world. I really think it's her season. Oh God. Well, that being said, that takes us through the entire thing. That's pretty much it. But I had fun. I had fun chatting about it with all of you guys. And I can't wait to break down Canada versus the world eventually. That being said, we are still covering season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. If you would like to catch those episodes of highlights, you can check those out right here on the PG Media channel. You can also follow PG Media on social media. You can find that information in the description below. Subscribe today so you don't miss out. And as always,
thank you for watching highlights.
And we'll see you next time.